Are you thinking about making a move to the Middle Tennessee area and you are wanting to learn more information about the neighborhoods in and around downtown Nashville? If so, then stay tuned, because in today's video, I am starting a 3-part series where each week we are going to be tackling several of the neighborhoods in and around downtown Nashville to hopefully give you a better idea of what neighborhood might be a fit for you. Everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Caitlin Martin and I am a local Nashville real estate agent and founder of the Caitlin Martin team, powered by 𝐋𝐈𝐊𝐄 Realtors, the Andrews Group. I specialize in working with savvy sellers who want to sell right and sell smart, as well as working with out-of-staters looking to relocate to the Middle Tennessee area. Now, if this is your first time stopping by my channel, thank you so much. Please feel free to click subscribe down below so that you are notified anytime I release new video content, which is every Tuesday and Friday at 5 p.m. Central. Also, please feel free to head on over to Instagram and follow me at Caitlin Martin Realtor and the team Instagram at the Caitlin Martin team, where we are talking all things Nashville lifestyle and real estate. So in today's video, I am going to first give you a look, because I know a lot of times when people are thinking about making a move, it can be a really challenging thing trying to get your bearings and figuring it out on a map and wondering where different places are and what could be a fit for you neighborhood wise. So we are first going to take a look at a few maps. We're going to give you a big visual of the Middle Tennessee area where different parts of town are. Then we're going to zoom in and give you a look at what the neighborhoods are in and around downtown Nashville. And like I said at the beginning, this is going to be a 3-part series because there is about 15 or so different neighborhoods or parts of towns for us to discuss, and I feel like that would be one massively large video. So we are going to break it up into a 3-part series, where today we are going to be talking about what's right around the heart of downtown Nashville, the type of housing you can find, what the price ranges look like. So let's first take a look at those maps, and then we're going to start talking about what you can expect in each of those parts of town. Okay, so before we dive into the first 5 parts of town, I wanted to start with a bigger picture here. So with this map that really kind of helps denote where different parts of town are, because I know a lot of times when you're first exploring, it can be a lot just trying to get your bearings. So this is a great map to reference in terms of where certain parts of town are. As you can see, Nashville is there in the center. You can see Nashville just a little diagonally north, and then Mount Juliet's going to be out east. You can see Hendersonville kind of northeast. If you look further south, you have several bubbles there denoting different parts of kind of the Davidson County area that's south of downtown Nashville. Then this big bubble you run into is Brentwood. You can see Franklin a little diagonally down from that. In the opposite direction, you see Nolensville. You can see where Murfreesboro is located. So we are not diving completely into all of these at this time, but I'm hoping that this helps to give you a visual of just first where other parts of town are, because there's a lot to explore in Middle Tennessee. But we're gonna zoom into Nashville and we're gonna take a look at that map. But if you are somebody that's curious about Williamson County, so the county that houses Brentwood, Franklin, Nolensville, Arrington, Thompson Station, parts of Spring Hill, Leapers Fork, Fairview, places like that, I actually do have a video that kind of walks you through the different parts of Williamson County. So I'll link it up above if you want to check that out. But again, we're actually going to be zooming in on the heart of Nashville, because I know a lot of times people are like, well, what is available around Nashville? So take a look at this map here. So as you can see, kind of these teal lines, those are the interstates that are going in and around and through the heart of Nashville. You can see downtown noted right here. So today we're going to be talking about downtown the Gulch, SoBro, which is actually short for South Broadway, and then Germantown. And then if I move my map just a little bit more, we're also going to be talking about East Nashville. So it's a little harder to see just because this map is dark, but you do have the Cumberland River. It's in this deep red color. You do have the Cumberland River here, which splits the downtown SoBro, Germantown area from East Nashville. So that is something to keep in mind. But these are the ones that we're focusing on in today's video. And then part 2, we're going to be focusing more to the west of downtown. And then we're going to go south for the final video in this 3-part series. So I just first wanted to give you a visual so you had an idea of what we're talking about. One thing to keep in mind. So right here where you see downtown, the Gulch, and SoBro, as you can tell, they're all really close together, so keep that in mind as we're going through this. But let's go ahead and start diving into just the different types of real estate that you can expect to find in each of these areas. So I really hope those maps were a good visual for you and just at least help you start to get your bearings in terms of where different parts of town are, and especially what are the neighborhoods in and around downtown Nashville. So let's first talk about downtown. Let's start at the heart of it all. So in downtown, as to be expected, your primary type of housing is going to be condos, loft, high rises. That's your predominant type of housing. Now, you can find a couple single family homes. However, those are going to tend to be on the smaller side. We're talking around that 800 to around 1,000 square feet. Some are going to be in desperate need of repair. Others may have some updates to where it's livable. A lot of times what you're going to find, if you can find those single family homes, is it's going to be a project. It's an investment for the most part. You can also find a few HPRs, which you're going to hear me mention, especially for housing in and around the downtown Nashville area. You're going to hear me mention HPR a lot. HPR, it means horizontal property regime, or better known as the tall and skinnies. To give you a quick little overview of what an HPR is, what the horizontal property regime means, it basically means 2 houses on 1 lot. They share property taxes. It can be attached, so it can mimic more of a townhome feel, or they can be detached. You can have both, but HPR applies to both. But but just a good rule of thumb, if I say HPR, just know I'm talking about tall and skinnies for the most part. So when it comes to downtown, again, that predominant type of housing, you're really gonna find those high-rise condos. There are several options in and around the downtown area. So in the heart of downtown in particular, you have the 505, which I have done a video on if you want to learn more about that building. That is a building that has both condos for sale, but also condos for rent. It has fantastic amenities. There are amenities designated just solely for owners. But if you want an inside look at what the 505 looks like, it's in the heart of it all. Just click right up here. Outside of the 505, you also have the Four Seasons, which is a brand new building in the heart of downtown Nashville. I mean, it is right there, like a block off the waterfront, because you do, kind of like I tried to point out in those map videos, you do have the Cumberland River that runs along, and it actually splits downtown Nashville from where East Nashville is. And so of course, if you've ever been to Nashville, you know that our famous street, Broadway, that is the true downtown area, and it does run right up to the riverfront, which is where things like CMA Fest take place. So there's a lot of action that happens in and around downtown Nashville. And so again, your predominant type of housing is going to be those high-rise condos. And also, in addition to the Four Seasons and the 505, you also have the Viridian and the Encore. So you have multiple options. Now, if we're talking about pricing, because in addition to those high rises, you do have a couple of older buildings in downtown Nashville where you can find more of a loft style condo. So if we're looking at pricing and what housing looks like, if you are looking to purchase in the downtown area, you're really looking around that $400,000 mark for an entry price point for a 1-bed, 1-bath. And then of course from there, it can significantly scale up to around $2 million for a 2 to 3 bed and 2 to 3 bath condo. Now you can absolutely get some fantastic views, and again, be right in the heart of everything. Most of these buildings are gonna have great amenities, so you do have a lot of what you need. They have parking availability. So great opportunities if you're looking at living in downtown. Now, right near downtown is an area called the Gulch, kind of like what we showed on that map. Now the Gulch is where a lot of Bachelorette Central happens, right? There's a lot of shops and restaurants. There's a new hat store. You have the Thompson Hotel that's located in the Gulch, and it's got the LA Jackson rooftop. So the Gulch is where you're gonna find a lot of the woo girls for bachelorettes, but there's a lot of great living opportunities. Again, it's going to be those high-rise luxury condos, a couple of those buildings if you're wondering what is available in the Gulch. So you have the 1212, which is a really popular building. You also have the Icon in the Gulch. This has been around longer, along with the Terrazzo. So both of those are going to be high-rise condo buildings. They have been around longer, so some of the units are more updated with like a more updated kitchen and bath. Some you're gonna find still have the original kitchens and bathroom fixtures that were there. They were built closer to that like mid 2000s, 2005, 2004, 2008, around that time. So some of these, you know, are getting closer to being around 20 years old, but again, you can still get fantastic views of downtown. Now, not every condo in these buildings is going to have a downtown view. Some are gonna have a Gulch view. Some are gonna face more of the Demonbreun side of things, which is moving kind of away from downtown towards Midtown. So you do have these different opportunities in the Gulch, but there's a lot happening. There's going to be a lot right outside your door. So it's going to be a very walkable area. So you're not going to be right in the heart of downtown if you're choosing the Gulch, but you still have a lot happening, and downtown is certainly still walkable from the Gulch. Now, if we're talking price point in the Gulch, you're looking around $500,000 for a 1-bed, 1-bath unit. And again, it's going to scale up to about 1.8 for a penthouse in one of those buildings. Okay, so one thing I actually wanted to mention before we pop over to Germantown. So I know in that map that I showed, we were looking at downtown, and then there was the Gulch, and then SoBro. So SoBro, it really, even though it has its own distinction, it really is almost a continuation of downtown. And so you're gonna find more apartments in the SoBro area, except there is a fantastic building that's only about 4 years old. It's called City Lights. So there you can get these great condos. You're gonna be just a little removed from downtown, but you can still have downtown views. The building is called City Lights. That's where you can purchase. So to get a 2-bed, 2.5-bath condo, this just shy of about 1,800 square feet, you're looking at a price point of around just shy of $900,000. But then to get a 3-bed, 2.5-bath condo, you're looking around that 1.2 to 1.3 range. So just know with SoBro, really the City Lights building is going to be one of your main places to purchase. Otherwise, there are several renting opportunities with apartment buildings. So now that we covered downtown, the Gulch, and SoBro, let's go just north of downtown Nashville and talk about Germantown. Okay, so wanted to kind of give you an idea of what is considered Germantown first, because I know you can see that bubble that really is just north of downtown. So you can see it denoted here in this red line right here, with Jefferson Street kind of being like the start of it. So if we back out just a little bit, you can see this is Bicentennial Mall. This is a great park to go to. This is where they do this is actually where they do the New Year's celebrations now, and you can actually see the and you can actually see First Tennessee Park here. That's where the Nashville Sounds play, which is our minor league baseball team. But couple things to note about Germantown, and we will dive into the real estate here in just a second. But a couple things about Germantown. As you can see, there are a ton of restaurant options. Right here outside of what's technically Germantown. You have the Bearded Iris Brewing. You can see you have several options right around Germantown. Some of the reasons why people like Germantown is because it's so walkable. There are plenty of food options. Right there by the river, you have the Optimist, which is fantastic. Fifth and Taylor, Rolf and Daughters, City House, Butcher Town Hall. These are all fantastic places to visit. They are great places to go and grab food when you're in town if you're exploring the area. Also, just wanted to make one other note before the map goes away is you can kind of see if you follow Jefferson Street here, go across the river, there is Top Golf. And I will back this out again just so you have a good visual. So we've been talking about downtown and again, Germantown. It's located right here. Yes, that's Salem Town. A lot of times that kind of gets looped into Germantown, but just wanted to be able to give you a really good visual so that you have an idea of where it is as we start talking about the real estate. So you may be aware of Germantown, you may not, because Germantown was actually one of the parts of town. Germantown in East Nashville, which is going to be the last place that we talk about in today's video. That is actually where the tornado in March of 2020 came through. March of 2020 was not great for Nashville. I mean, I realized March of 2020 was not great for the world, but Nashville actually kind of had a double whammy where we got the tornado and then of course the world shut down a couple weeks later. So that's Germantown. Germantown, although I don't want it to be marked as like the place where the tornado hit, Germantown is a very neat part of town. So like I said, it is just north of downtown Nashville. So in Germantown, being that it is so close to downtown, what kind of real estate can you expect? So you can get single family homes, you can get those HPRs like I talked about, those tall and skinnies, although some of them don't look quite so tall and so skinny, but you can definitely get those. And a lot of times they're going to be detached. And then of course there are some condo loft opportunities, and one of the signature types of architecture that you can find in Germantown are going to be beautiful historic looking brownstones. So there's a lot of real estate opportunity, kind of like I mentioned we were taking a look at the map. Germantown is very walkable and it is chock full of fantastic restaurants. So there's a lot happening in Germantown. You're so close to that First Horizons Park, which is where, or the First Tennessee Park, which is where the Nashville Sounds play. And when it's not baseball season, they actually have had every year for the past like 2 years or so, 3 years now, they will actually transform the park into this winter wonderland around the holidays. So there are events that take place there as well. So there's just a lot happening in Germantown. Plus you're really close to the heart of downtown Nashville to enjoy all that downtown has to offer. And then if we are going to be talking about the real estate, of course, what can you expect price-wise? So if you're looking at price point, you're going to be looking at about an entry price of around $500,000. There can from time to time be a condo that comes available that's a little less than that. But then real estate actually can scale all the way up to about 2.1 million. There is an opportunity for this fantastic loft that is going, they're actually taking an old school building and they're transforming it into loft opportunities. And so there is this 3-bed loft opportunity right now that is listed at 2.1 million. It's going to be a luxury loft. So you do kind of run a wide range in Germantown, but again, you also have a lot of different opportunities. You can even have the potential to get a shotgun style house in Germantown. So Germantown's just neat. It has its own vibe. Yes, it was hit by the 2020 tornado, but they've done a fantastic job of rebuilding. There's also, of course, renting opportunities and apartment buildings in the Germantown area as well. But just know if you're considering Germantown, there's a lot to love about it. And even if you don't want to be near the city, if you were coming for a visit, I would recommend several of those restaurants that I listed off. I would absolutely recommend trying to get a reservation there because it is fantastic food. 𝐋𝐈𝐊𝐄 sushi is one of my favorites. Henrietta Red is really great for brunch. Butcher Town Hall, fantastic. Of course, there's a lot of opportunity there. So even if Germantown's maybe not on your list in terms of places you want to live, there are lots of great restaurants for girls' night out or date night or whatever it may be. Now let's head across the Cumberland River into East Nashville, and we are going to talk about our last neighborhood for part 1 of a 3-part series. So East Nashville is big. Let's actually take a look at a map really quick to give you an idea of just how large East Nashville really is. Okay, so wanted to take a quick look here because East Nashville, there's a lot that falls into the East Nashville name and to that part of town. So let's take a look. You can see the outline here in these red dots. So if you're looking at a map, obviously here's downtown Nashville. You can see the Cumberland River that runs through. The Cumberland River really serves as sort of this border that's going to be on the right-hand side of what's considered East Nashville. And then you can see it runs up along Interstate 24, the 65. And as you can see, you know, as it kind of loops around and that's actually Briley Parkway, that as it comes down, you can kind of see, you know, those are the boundaries of what's considered East Nashville. Now, inside of East Nashville, you have several different neighborhoods, but in general, we're just going to be talking about real estate, what you can find all in East Nashville. East Nashville very much carries its own vibe. It's very eclectic, and you've got a lot of like really cool, vibey bars and restaurants. You know, I hate using the word vibey, but honestly, that's you have a bit of a retro feel in some of these places too. So let's actually, you know, I wanted to give you this visual so that you can see, you know, you can hear of different neighborhoods, kind of like Inglewood, the Maplewood Heights, Shelby Bottom, of course. So, and I wanted to point out this Pharmacy Burger and Parlor, or this Pharmacy Burger Parlor and Beer Garden. Fantastic burgers. If you are looking for a great burger place, this is one to go to. But enough about food. Let's talk about real estate in East Nashville. So I know I said that East Nashville is kind of an eclectic mix, and that is even true when it comes to real estate opportunities. So as you saw, there are going to be several different littler neighborhoods inside of what is truly East Nashville. So you can find a wide range of real estate opportunities. So you definitely have condo opportunities. One thing that you can certainly find in East Nashville is actually Airbnb opportunities. So this is not something that I've talked a whole lot about in previous videos, but when it comes to Airbnbs, the city is really cracking down on their zoning and where Airbnb opportunities can be. And East Nashville is one of them. In fact, they've actually built and have continued to build, they've actually built certain Airbnb only designated condo buildings. So there are Airbnb condo opportunities where that building, every unit in there is allowed to have a short-term rental permit. And a lot of times those buildings are gonna have really cool amenities. So if you are curious about any Airbnb opportunities, East Nashville is certainly a place to explore, especially those Airbnb designated buildings. Now, in addition to that, you do have other condo building, and of course, there is a lot of opportunity for tall and skinnies, or those HPRs, in East Nashville. So again, sometimes they're gonna be attached, sometimes they'll be detached, but there is a lot of opportunity. Another thing to know about East Nashville, in that area, this area has undergone a lot of revitalization in recent years. East Nashville is a very popular area of town. It's a very hot market. And so you're going to find some streets, you can certainly find those older homes that look like a complete tear down. And then maybe the street right behind it is almost completely new build. So, or sometimes you get a mix. You can have a street where you have some of those older homes that have been completely renovated, plus you've got new homes. There's a lot of development happening out in East Nashville. And so that is something to keep in mind. You can find lots of different kinds. So yes, you've got condos. Yes, you've got HPRs. Yes, you've got these apartment buildings as well and Airbnb opportunities, but you also have single family homes. And you have single family homes that kind of run the gamut in terms of style. You've got ranch style, you've got craftsman style, you have those really charming bungalow styles. So there's a lot happening in East Nashville. You also have a lot of trails and greenways. There's actually a newer community that is in East Nashville where they really thrive on being a self-sustaining community, or at least that's how they market it, where it has its own food gardens as a part of this small development. So you've got a lot of opportunity in East Nashville. A lot of people love it because there is the opportunity for walkability in East Nashville. If you drive through East Nashville, I would encourage people because again, in a lot of ways, you have kind of this throwback feel in East Nashville. You definitely have an opportunity for a wide range of real estate opportunities. If East Nashville sounds appealing to you, I would just encourage you to drive through it, see what you think of it. East Nashville is very much its own distinct vibe. And that honestly, when we're talking about Nashville and the neighborhoods in general, that is why part of the appeal of Nashville is the fact that it's not cookie cutter in terms of every single neighborhood has the same vibe, the same feel, the same architecture, the same kinds of restaurants and bars. There's a wide range. That's why a lot of people are moving here, because there's a little bit of something for everybody. So in East Nashville, it's going to be, again, more of that eclectic feel, just because there's a wide range of different real estate opportunities. You have a lot of really cool dive bars and even new bars, and you've got these great restaurants. So there's a lot happening in East Nashville. So Sean Brock, actually the famous chef, he does have 3 of his restaurants in East Nashville. In fact, he's got Audrey, which my husband and I have been to before. It is one of the best meal experiences we have ever had. They were able to make dietary restriction accommodations, but also we did the wine pairing with the food, which normally I don't think that makes that big of a difference, but there you could 100% tell a difference between the taste of the food before having a sip of the paired wine versus after, which was really neat. He also has his new restaurant June in East Nashville, and then he has a burger joint, which is more of a fast food option called Joyland. That's in East Nashville. There's also this great place called Once Upon a Time in France that's located in East Nashville. So again, there's just a lot to do there. There's a lot of fun food opportunities. And again, you've got great real estate opportunities. So we've been talking about the real estate, but what does it cost? So if you're looking for like a complete tear down or just a full gut it to the studs renovation, you're looking around the $275 to $300 mark. But the primary type of housing in terms of something that's in true livable condition, you're looking right around that $450 mark in terms of an entry price point. And then of course, homes can scale up to over 1 million to around the 1.5, 1.7 range for something that's completely done, single family, 3-4 bedrooms, things like that. So again, you got a wide range in terms of what you may be looking for. So I hope this was helpful. Again, this is going to be part 1 of a 3-part series, but I figured let's start right in the heart of downtown Nashville, go over the kind of real estate there, what you can find in those parts of town. But then part 2, we're actually going to be moving to kind of the west side of downtown. And then, like I said, 3rd video, we will end to the south of the heart of downtown Nashville. So hope this was helpful. If you are thinking about making a move, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. I would love to start that conversation with you. In fact, if you're ready, you can go ahead and click the link below where you can go ahead and book a Zoom discovery call with me to see if we are a fit and to talk more about what it is that you are looking for. If you're not ready for that just yet, that is okay too. I actually have a free Nashville relocation guide down below that does include those neighborhood maps so that you have that great visual, along with things like economic information, job opportunity information, schools, all the things that you could possibly want to know about moving to the Nashville area. I've got that in that free Nashville relocation guide. All you got to do is click the link to be able to download. Again, my name is Caitlin Martin. I'll see you next time.